All right, chats. Very good evening. I hope we're all doing well today. Welcome to the stream. Welcome indeed. Today we are going to be flying from Eindhoven over to Innsbruck. Flying with the PMDG 737-800, flying over, like I say, into Innsbruck, where they've got full online ATC, at least from 6:30 anyway. So by the time we arrive, so they've got full ATC coverage on VATSIM over there. So it should be pretty nice. Flying with Transavia or Transavia. Not sure if we decided which was the right pronunciation, but that's what we're going to be doing today. It should be a real good time. Flying out of Eindhoven, first time we've flown out of there in a very, very long time. We flew out of here on the stream, oh god, a long time ago now. Yeah, maybe when this scenery was first released, actually. This is a freeware scenery that we're using today, and it's very good. I highly recommend you checking it out if you've not already. I don't think it's been updated in quite some time, but nevertheless, it's still really quite good scenery for free, especially if you've got something like Zinertek or the other one. I forget what the name of it is, that changes some of the default textures to something a little bit better. It does look very good. I'm very happy with how it looks in the sim. Works really well with GSX as well, actually. I don't know if any of you guys have ever flown into Eindhoven Airport. I've been there once. Well, I've been there twice for one trip. And yeah, it's got all these barriers that run along sort of the front of the apron, where you have to do a long walk from your plane. Well, it depends where your plane's parked, I suppose. You have to do a big walk from the apron to the terminal building in all these different lanes that are divided up by barriers. So, yeah, you'll see that in a moment anyway, chat. But who have we got in the chat today? We've got Matt Rasso. Welcome indeed, dude. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Swedish Sim Pilot. Hello. Welcome to the chat. Mawson, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. Roy, welcome indeed. Welcome, welcome. Hope you are doing well. MPS, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Roy's got the 739. Very good. Very good. How are you finding it? How are you finding it? Handles very well, I must say. Good. Well, glad to hear it. I've not picked it up. Yeah, mainly just because, I mean, I'm happy with the 800. I don't know. I think we covered this in the last stream, really. I can't personally see that much appeal to it personally, but that's just because of the type of flying that I do and the type of flights that I generally end up doing. But nevertheless, I mean, the price is actually quite tempting, actually. I thought it was going to be more than that, so I'm quite surprised by the price, and I mean, maybe I can have my arm twisted at some point, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, for now, we're cracking on the 800. Lucas, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. MPS has got the 900 as well. Very good. Fly Tim Sim, welcome back to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. And Lucas is just apart from Gatwick in the 900. Very good. Very good. Is that a KLM flight, Lucas? Or what are you doing with that one? Stephen, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Welcome indeed. All right, lovely. And MPS, is it yourself? Or is it Matt Rasso? I can't remember. There's someone in the chat. I always forget who it is. From Gothenburg. Is that one of you guys? Or is it someone else that I'm thinking of? I know we've got ATC Swede. I think they're from Gothenburg, aren't they? But they're not in the chat at the moment. Speedbird, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Welcome indeed. Not you. I think it might be MPS. Yes, it is. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, so MPS, I don't know if you caught it early on this week. I can't remember what day it was. I don't know if you follow on Facebook the Arlanda Journal. So I believe that's Marcus Nyberg's page, and he's posting his updates for the new Stockholm scenery he's working on. But he did actually post some pictures for an updated Gothenburg that is due for release soon. So highly recommend you checking those out, because I know you were interested in seeing some updates to that. And yeah, it looks really, really good, actually. It looks some nice little updates. And he's added in the new terminal. The jetways now work. So yeah, if you've not seen those, check them out. For show. Oh, you've seen them. You guys have seen them. Of course you have. Very good. Very good. Well, if anyone else is interested and has no idea what I'm talking about, I'll post a link in the chat now. It is a Facebook link, but actually, no, it's way too long to post in the chat. Hang on a minute. See if I can find a better link. God, that's a long link. Why won't it give me a shorter link than that? Come on, Facebook. There we go. That's shorter. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about, guys. It looks very nice, and yeah, looking forward to that one. The working jetways is big, I think. And the new terminal, obviously. Swedish Sim Pilot says, what is your favourite flight route? Greetings from Stockholm. Very good. Welcome to the stream from Stockholm. Swedish Sim Pilot. What is my favourite flight route? I don't know, to be honest. I've got quite a few that I really like. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. I think one of the most satisfying and enjoying routes I've ever flown in the sim is from Islamabad to Skardu Airport. We've done that quite a few times on the stream, and I've followed the procedures set in place by PIA, who I managed to find their manuals for that exact approach. And we've pulled that off a few times with some really good success, and really enjoy that one. That's really a good route to fly. It's not very long either, and it's just really scenic. That's a really good one. That's the first one that comes to mind, but there are many, really. There are many that are great that we've flown here on the stream. I can't really pick one, to be honest. There's just so many. Lucas asks, where do you put the lights on the keys for the FMC in the 737? It's just on the... well, it depends which FMC, I think, but it's just in front of the PFD and the MFD. Peter, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Welcome indeed. Speedbird had a Ryanair landing at Gothenburg, bounced twice, followed by a float and a veer to the left. Crikey. Yeah, absolutely. Blame the texture mapping. That must be what it was. That must be what it was. Can I see your comments being posted twice? I can't, Matt Rasso. No. Yeah, I'll definitely be getting Marcus Nyberg's as well, MPS. That, yeah, because the Asobo version, it's okay, isn't it? But it's just lacking in just a lot of areas, I feel. The jetways don't work. There's hardly any clutter around. It just doesn't feel, immersive. Do you know what I mean? Even this freeware scenery that we're using today feels more immersive than that. Dave, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Welcome indeed. Swedish Sim Pilot says, do I prefer the A320X or the Fenix A320? I prefer the Fenix, but they're both great. Right, okay then, chat. So let's get cracking with the flight. So here we are at Eindhoven. We're on VATSIM, by the way, if you want to fly along. Currently no controllers on at this airport, but nevertheless, we're still going to be flying with, flying as we normally do. So as we normally do, let's have a look at the OFP before we go any further. So we'll bring up the fuzz pad. And let's have a look-see. So, we're going to go through the OFP on SimToolkitPro today. I feel like it's a bit of a... recently I've been bringing up the PDFs and highlighting everything, but I think that might be a little bit redundant. So, we'll run through it here. So, let's have a look then. So, today we're going to be Transavia 6685 are flying from Eindhoven to Innsbruck in the PMDG 738. Registration Papa Hotel, Hotel X-Ray Kilo. Callsign is going to be Transavia 6685 and the aircraft CFM 56 engines, obviously. And off blocks time target is 18:30 Zulu and on blocks time is 20:04 Zulu time. Distance of about 392 miles over the ground. Takeoff weight we're expecting is 59.5 tons, so not crazy heavy today. Alternate is going to be a Munich and cruising flight level 390. Trip time expected about 1 hour and 6 minutes in the air, and alternate time is going to be 40 minutes if we need to divert to Munich. Block fuel will get 5 point. We'll actually ramp this up, I think, to probably 5. I think we'll ramp this up to 5.7. I think. So instead of doing that, we'll do 5,700, I think. Just because of there may be some holding in Innsbruck, potentially with the ATC online. It is quite a popular airport. So that's what we'll do. So coming further down, we're expecting runway 21 here at Eindhoven on the Olno 6 kilo departure. Runway 8 is what SimBrief's given me for arrivals into Innsbruck, but well, yeah, I mean, it could still be runway 8, and it's given me the Madeb 1 Bravo arrival. That might change, to be honest with you. I feel like a lot of times when I've flown into Innsbruck on VATSIM, they've actually come in from the east, and this is coming in from the west, this arrival. So that might get changed up once we get a little bit closer. But we'll have to see what they give us, and we'll take it from there. But for now, we'll just plug in runway 08, Madeb 1 Bravo. I'm not actually going to put an approach in because, again, usually they like to bring you in from the east on the localizer DME East, and then it'll be a circle to land approach from there. But again, with it being nighttime in the obviously the real world, they might also potentially yeah, they could give us an instrument approach, one of the RNAV approaches potentially, or, you know, well, yeah, potentially one of the RNAV approaches. We'll see how it goes anyway. We'll keep an eye on the ATIS once it does go live. So coming further down, we've got 138 passengers, no cargo. I keep forgetting to change my cargo figures on SimBrief, but hey-ho, that's fine. We're just going to roll with it. And then coming further down, looking at the weather. No significant weather to be aware of here. Weather at Eindhoven is fine. No issues there. Excuse me. And weather at Innsbruck also very, very good. No issues at all there. Obviously, weather temperature is quite cold at both airports, so something to bear in mind. We'll need to have considerations for anti-ice. There are no clouds, however, but we will stick it on for the departure nevertheless. And weather at alternate is also very good. So nothing to worry about there. Right, let me just do this real quick because I've pressed page up and it seems to not like that when I do that on SimToolkitPro. I think I fixed it. Lovely. Right. Okay. And then just a quick look at the charts. So as you can see, our routing initially to the south and then over to the southeast and then into Innsbruck from the west. But again, that might change. We might get routed sort of around this way and in. But we'll see how it goes. To be honest, I've never had a flight plan that approaches Innsbruck from the west. We've always sort of come in from over in this direction like this. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We have got a jet stream here, but again, that shouldn't really affect us. And that's about it, really. Wind situation is it's going to be more or less a sort of a crosswind situation for most of the flight with a little bit of a headwind component there. And especially on the descent, slight headwind component as well, which is not a bad thing. Right, cool. So we'll have a look at the charts later on once we get the aircraft set up. But for now, let's jump in. Amsterdam radar is online now. Oh, very good, very good. Let's see. Has my live map not updated then here on SimToolkit? Oh no, they've just come online, haven't they? Oh, great stuff. Okay, 125750. I'm just wondering, do they actually cover? Do they actually cover our airport? Right. Anyway, we'll have a word with them in just a moment. But for now, let's start getting things set up. We've already had the captain on board, who is the pilot monitoring for today. He's already been on board and set up the aircraft as normal. And yeah, like I say, great scenery here, great night lighting. We're not using live time today. I've set it to just before sunrise, and we should get a nice sunrise as we depart here. Right. Let's jump in then and have a look. So, we're on board. For some reason, the seats are sort of glowing, and it's very, very dim in here, but I'm not exactly sure what the deal is with that. Anyway, let's jump in. Have done the PMDG update as well today, so we are running the latest version. There was an update that released with the 900 release, so that's what we're running today. And let's see how that pans out. Apparently, they fixed the IRS bug that was occurring, and I think they've also done some changes to the ground handling as well a little bit. Right. What do I think to Sim Plaza? That's the second time I've been asked that question this month. What do I think about it? I think that you should not go on it. There was an interesting article actually posted up just the other day on thresholdx.net regarding piracy. If you want to read that, that's quite an interesting read. Right. Hokey cokey then. Let's get cracking then, shall we? So, like I said, the most of the aircraft is ready to rock and roll. We just need to get some stuff input here. So, we'll actually go ahead and call the refuelers and request boarding. Right. Okie dokie then. So let's start again. So Posinit's already done, and we'll go to our route page. We're going to LOWI, and we'll request that flight plan and select it. We'll get that loaded in. We should start to see the passengers come in from sort of over here. Oh, there they are, coming in from there, and then they walk down these barriers. This is what I was talking about earlier on. And there's actually at Eindhoven Airport, there's actually a I've actually put some walkers in there from GS8. You'll see some people walking around, but there's actually a little this is like a, I think it's this section anyway. This is like a smoking area up here, and you can actually come up here and just watch over the apron. It's actually quite cool. Yeah, you get a really nice view up there actually. It stinks, but nice view. Anyways, let's carry on then. So the fueler apparently is already here. Crikey, that was quick. He is. Great stuff. Okay, so fuel-wise, we said we were going to go for 5,700. Oh, it's in pounds. Please stop doing that. Okay. Right, we'll use this one. I always forget which one the pounds is on. Pounds or kilos. There we go. Right, lovely. Okie dokie. So, fuel, 5,700. We'll get that rolling. Whilst we're also here as well, we'll just set the passenger load as well, which is going to be 138 passengers. Bang them all in economy. 54.20 fuel weight is correct. That's good. Right. Okay. So back to what we're doing. Let's load in the routes. And we'll just give it a second to catch up here. Fuel's going in. Passengers are coming on board. Looking good, looking good. Cool. Right, so that's done. We're going to be Transavia 6685, as we said. And we're going to expect runway 21 here at Eindhoven. What we'll also do is we'll come in and set the departure, which is going to be the Lima November Oscar 6 kilo departure. And for arrivals, we'll initially set runway 08. And like I say, I'm not sure which one we're going to get, so we'll just put runway 08. And we'll put the Madeb 1 Bravo arrival. So come back here and have a look. Right, that all looks good. Great stuff. So we'll activate and execute. Come here and stick in our alternate, which is Munich. That's fine. And all done. Lovely stuff. So we'll come to our perf init. It's going to be a cost index of 35. Reserves is going to be 2.4 tons. And the zero fuel weight is going to be 54.1. Fuel 5.8 is correct, and cruising flight level is going to be 390 today. Wind up at cruise is going to be 29,029 at 23 knots, and the temperature minus 67. Transition altitude here is 3,000 feet. Lovely job. We'll execute that. Oh, and Lucas as well, you were asking about the FMC. It's this one here. Oh, no, it's not. It's on the captain's side then. Okay, no, it's not. Which one is it? I can't actually... It's this one. This one here. There you go. That's the Badger. See, in my profile, I actually have these turned about halfway up by default. So in my panel state, so I forgot that. Right, okay, so we'll go for our takeoff performance then. Now, again, still don't have a calculator for this, but we're going to go ahead and just stick in selected temperature 45, which is more or less standard. Well, it's quite close to what we usually get from the calculators, and we'll go for a 24k D rate. We are quite light today, so I think that'll be absolutely no issues. And then for takeoff, we'll go for the standard flaps 5, QRH speeds 33, 34, and 40. Takeoff weight 59.9, which is about right. We've got extra fuel as well, remember, and then our CG will set there as well. Lovely job. Okie dokie. And then the departure procedures here at Eindhoven. Oh, we don't actually have any notes about it on Blackbox's website. Let's just see if I can quickly scan through the charts here. Noise abatement procedures. Pilots of aircraft with a maximum takeoff weight at or above 2,000 shall adhere to the following. Runway 21 to the west is going to be... Actually, we are going to the east, aren't we? So, runway 21 to the east. Climb to at least 1,000 feet on runway track until EHV3 DME. That's it. That's all it says. Okay, that's fine. We'll go for NADP2 anyway, because that's the most common. I imagine that is applicable to this this airport. And what I'm also going to do is just to get a little bit ahead of myself, my transition flight level here for Innsbruck is usually around 110, so we'll stick that in now, just because. Right, okay, so that's that all done. We're waiting for the rest of the passengers to come on board now. That's all looking good. We'll come and do our... We'll have a look through the plan view here. So we'll go legs, and we'll just step through this and make sure it all looks correct. Obviously, we're going to do a full briefing once we're done here. Right, fine, and then we've obviously got a discontinuity at the end. Cool, no worries, that all looks fine to me. And then, as I said, we'll do a full briefing as we go on here, but... oh, we haven't got a clearance yet, have we? So we won't set the MCP just yet. We'll get a clearance first. So, let's have a word with Amsterdam Centre. It's going to be 125,750.
Clear, less and clear for the Airline support runway 185, Airline support 16.
4 Kilo Juliet, speed 200. Speed 200 on 4 Kilo Juliet.
Amsterdam Radio, very good evening. Transavia 6685 at Sierra 4 on the ground at Eindhoven. Type Boeing 738, request clearance to Innsbruck.
First Bavarian 184, taxi to the Jet Aviation. Bavarian 184, taxi to the Jet Aviation. Bavarian 184.
Bavarian 184, sorry, I thought you said Transavian. Okay, taxi to Jet Aviation, Bavarian 184, sorry.
No problem. Le 2738, Unicom 122.8.
122.8, love to send treat.
Easy 787, right turn 230.
Does this guy hear me?
Transavia 6685, cleared to Innsbruck, all no 6 kilo, runway 21, squawk 015.
Cleared to Innsbruck, all no 6 kilo departure, runway 21, squawk 0151, Transavia 6685.
Transavia 6685, read that is correct.
Right, lovely, there we go. 0151.
6180 knots.
God damn it.
6 miles, and tower 9225, goodbye.
Right, lovely. Okay, cool. So that's all that done. Passengers are all boarded now. Let's go ahead and fire up the APU. Lovely stuff. Let's go ahead and get the doors closed. And we'll get the stairs disconnected. Right, cool. So let's finish off what we're doing in here then. So heading initially is going to be 213. That's runway heading. V2 is 140, and the initial climb on this SID is going to be flight level 60.
Bavarian 184 is on stand. Thank you for the ATC.
So that's all correct. We'll get both the flight directors on, and we'll LNAV for departure. This is an RNAV departure, so we don't really need to tune any...
Climb 130, November 16 Whiskey.
We don't really need to tune any nav aids, but we will do anyway, just for DME information. So 1172 is the Eindhoven VOR, and we'll tune the Olno as well on 1128.
4 Kilo Juliet, speed 160 knots until 4 DME, contact tower 119, decimal 225. Could you repeat? 160 until 4 DME, and tower 119, decimal 225. 160 to 4 DME, then contact tower low.
And I think what we'll do as well in the standby here, we'll tune on the Mike Alpha Sierra VOR as well. And we'll put that in the active. Actually, no. We'll just do it like that. I think that's fine. We'll switch it over once we get underway. And we're going to need the radial 351 for that one. So we'll stick that 351 in here as well.
Perfect. Left turn heading 210. And,
right. Okie dokies. So that's that all set. Okay, so copy preparation checklist or pre-flight checklist. Oxygen is tested. 100% nav transfer and display switches are normal and auto. Normal and auto. Window heat is on. Pressurization mode selector is in auto. Flight instruments. Heading 2123 and about 110 feet. QNH 1034. Engine start levers are in cutoff. Pre-flight checklist complete. And before start, down to the line. Cockpit flight deck door is closed and locked. Fuel is 5.7 kilos. The pumps are on. Windows and doors are locked. MCP is V2 140 heading 213, altitude 6,000 feet. Auto brake is in RTO. Takeoff speeds are 33, 34 and 40. CDU pre-flight is completed. Parking brake is set. Rudder and aileron trim is 3 and 0, and the down to the line is complete. We'll do the taxi and takeoff briefing now, and then we'll get rolling. So, back to the fuzz pads. Let's have a look then at what we've got here. So we're departing Eindhoven in the Netherlands. This is a 10-9, although we're not going to look at this for too long. Airport elevation 74 feet, so actually showing a little bit high there on the altimeter. So we'll just check the QNH here real quick. It might have changed. 1034. Okay, the sim might be different. So I'll just hit my B on my keyboard, and it's 1033. Right, okay, that's fine. So 74 feet. Right, cool. So we're departing runway 21, and we've been cleared for the Elno 6 kilo departure. We'll go to that in a minute. So for the taxi out, we're currently at Sierra 4 here. Sorry, yes, Sierra 4. So we'll probably push back facing to the northeast like this, and then it'll just be a case of taxiing up Lima to Lima 1 for runway 21, I imagine, or maybe Lima 2. In fact, let's see, now it'll be Lima 1, won't it? So very, very short taxi out, so not much time to do all the checklists, so it's something to bear in mind. And then for the departure, we've got the Lima November Oscar 6 kilo RNAV departure for runway 21. This is a 10-3 Echo 1 chart. Transition altitude 3,000 feet, and this is an RNAV departure. MSA 1,800 feet or 1,800 based on the airport reference point. And then the departure itself is going to take us straight ahead to 3 miles from the Eindhoven VOR, which is Echo Hotel 558. This is a flyover, and then we're going to take a left turn out to 089. Echo Hotel 562, max 220 knots at or above 3,000, which is in and okay. Then that takes us to Echo Hotel 570, and then a right turn out to Sopvi, and then another right turn out to this fix here, which I can't see the name for, Osgos. Requested flight level above flight level 0905. So that's us. We need to be at or above flight level 100 at that fix. Expect radar vectors by Dutch Mill if unable to cross flight level 100 in time, which we should have no issues. The FMC is currently showing will be at flight level 204 at Oskos. And then we're going to continue out to Eduma and then a right turn out to Olno. So we tuned the mass VOR, which we can see. We can cross-check this leg here with the 351 radial there. We've also got Olno tuned as well on the nav1 frequency and the Eindhoven VOR as well on the nav2 frequency. So we'll set off with Eindhoven VOR, and then as we come out to Echo Hotel 570, we'll switch over to the Mike Alpha Sierra. Initial climb is flight level 60, and we do have, if FMS navigation is used, pilots should connect FMS and autopilot as early as possible. The EH waypoints shall not be used in
Easy 787 on present heading.
R/T procedures.
On present heading, push 18 right.
Not sure what R/T procedures are, to be quite honest with you. But it's probably got something to do with... I'm not sure. Probably got something to do with the loss of RNAV capability, potentially, or something to that description. Anyways, that shouldn't affect us, but they do want to support autopilot in as soon as possible. So we'll have to try and adhere to that, as uneventful that may be. Anyways, that's everything done there. So we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. APU should now be online. We'll get that on the bus. That's fine. We'll come down and we'll just check the parking brake is set, which it is, and we'll get the ground power and the chocks removed by the ground crew there. Lovely stuff. Right, we'll get the electric hydraulics on as well now, and seatbelt signs obviously can be on.
Papa Mike Sierra, flight info, the QNH is 1033.
We'll get the APU bleed on just to get a bit of air conditioning whilst we are waiting for our pushback clearance. We'll get the anti-collision light on, and we'll do before start below the line. So below the line, fasten seatbelt switch is on, anti-collision light is on, parking brake is set, before start checklist complete. Right, lovely job. Let's request the tug.
Truck Colac, climb over people to receive this 1 kilo back.
EC 787, report when established, please.
Radio telephony, very good. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Oh, it's the Maastricht VOR. Very good, Roy. We'll give you a wave. We'll give you a wave. Patrick, welcome to the chat. The commentator, welcome indeed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Chris, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Lovely job. Right. When I use GSX pushback, even though I have raised disabled, when the tug releases me, the plane is free falling for 1 feet. Yeah, that's just it's just something that happens, unfortunately.
Easy 67, Echo Juliet, flight level 340, flight 390. Velocity 67, Echo Juliet identified. Continue climb flight level 390. Continue 390, easy 67, Echo Juliet.
Wait, hang on, is this... Okay, that's correct. Okay, fine. No issues. Right. Where's the tug? Oh my god. What is the tug doing over there? That ain't right. Transavia 6685 Sand Sierra 4 at Eindhoven on the ground. Request push and start.
Transavia 6685, pushback and start. Approved facing south. The QNH is 1033.
Push start proof, face south, QNH 1033, Transavia 6685. Oh, facing to the south, apparently, chats. Interesting. Interesting. Right, so we're going to go tail to the left then.
Release parking brakes, please.
Okie dokie then. Let me get the sound up a little bit. And parking brake released.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
We'll get the packs off. And everything else is checked. Right. Engine start on number 2.
Get a 1227, Unicom 122, that's Okay, now 1227, Unicom 122.8.
Okie dokie. 25%. There we go.
Transavia 5 Golf, further climb with Unicom 122.
Look at these ground textures. They're just great. This is a freeware scenery, guys. Alright, there's the starter cutout. Engine stable. Oh, there's the starter cutout, sorry. Engines are stabilizing. Let's go for a starter number 1. $25%.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brake set.
Cockpit to ground. You have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
DC61 Quebec Kilo, climb to level 300.
Okay, there we go. Start cutout. Lovely job. Engine is stabilizing. Everything looks good. Great. Okie dokie. So transponder is set. That's all looking good. We'll set our trim 5.7. So it does it. There we go. Lovely stuff. That's all good. That's all good.
Left is clear, right is clear.
We'll close this off. We'll set the flaps to 5. Lovely. Okie dokie. Everything looks good here. We'll arm the auto throttle now because I will forget otherwise. Coming up top, we'll get the APU bleed off. We'll get both packs on and the isolation valve to auto. Voice recorder is in auto. That's all looking good. Engine start switches continuous. Pro peak come on. Generators can come on. And we'll get the APU turned off. Get the dome light off now as well. Lovely stuff. Oh, we've got a Wizz Air. Very good. Love to see it. Okie doke. So, after start checklist. Sorry, before taxi checklist even. And it's just jogged my memory. That needs to come on. Okie dokes. So, before taxi checklist, generators are on. Anti-ice is engine only. APU is off. Engine start switch is continuous. Recall is checked. Engine start levers are in the idle detent. Flight controls will do a check off in a moment and ground equipment is clear. Before taxi checklist is complete. Okay, all looking good there. And rudders. Great stuff. Hokey cokey. Right, and then before takeoff checklist, flaps are 5 green lights and stabilizer trim is set to 5.7 units. Before takeoff checklist complete. Very short taxi here, chat, so we'll do that now. Transavia 6685, request taxi.
Transavia 6885, taxi Lima 2, line up and wait, runway 2 bar.
Taxi Lima 2, line up and wait, runway 21's Transavia 6685. Okay, cool. Let's go, chats. Parking brake is released. So it's Lima 2, which is also, it does make sense to be fair, chat. This Lima 2 takes us to the runway threshold. Lima 1 would take us to the Displace threshold. Sorry, take us to before the threshold. So, yeah, no issues. Yep, we've got the lighting on as well, even though it's rather bright here now. We'll get the TCAS to TARA.
When ready, direct SONET.
This is Lima 2, although I'm not seeing many signs, but should be on the ground there.
Radar, very good evening. Ryanair 27.
Ground handling does feel a bit more sensitive now, which is quite nice.
27 Yankee Whiskey, good evening to you as well, squad 1000.
I've been cleared to line up and wait, so we shall do that.
Squad 1000.
1000, 27 Yankee Whiskey.
Right, we'll get the landing lights on.
TV61, Quebec, Kilo, Unicorn 122.8.
Strobe lights on as well.
Bye-bye.
On the 27 Yankee Whiskey identified, proceed direct SONET.
Looks clear. We've got a little bit of a crosswind there for takeoff from the left. Lovely. I'll catch up with your messages once we get underway, chat. Nice lineup. I'll take it. Cool. We'll just set the parking brake there whilst we wait for our clearance.
Climb floor level 2, departure 0.32 Yankee Tango.
Radar Alpine 7 and our Papa Quebec, climbing to flight level 130, turning direct Ivlet.
Alpine 7 and Papa Quebec, climb floor level 2, 5
Look at that lineup. That's almost perfect, chat.
With a 685 runway 21 clear for takeoff. The wind is calm.
Runway 21 clear for takeoff, Transavia 6685. Also, look at the lighting here. That looks so cool. Right, off we go then, chat. So, parking brake is released. Throttles up to 50% on the toe brakes. And Toga, N1 Toga. Fuzz Toga's in the chat. Thrust set.
80 knots.
Thrust hold. Very nice calm wind here. V1 rotates. Let's go. Wow, okay, I was pulling back a lot then. And it just didn't want to rotate. Gear up. N1. Let's bug up. Oopsie daisies. It's always a bit quick, that bug. Flap set to 1. And flaps up. VNAV speed.
Flop 280, contact Langen radar 135,650.
Oh wow, I don't know if they've adjusted something in the pitch authority on this thing, but
6685 identified, climb flight level 100.
climb flight level 100, Transavia 6685. Look at that sun though. I don't know if they've adjusted it in the pitch, but it feels very, very weak in the pitch here. Alright, let's get command B in anyway, and we're going up to flight level 100. N1 VNAV speeds, we'll go to standard. Forgot to turn that light on, but anyway, those lights are off.
Amsterdam, hello, Ryanair 3101, flight level 360 inbound.
Check that we're pressurizing, which we are, that all looks good. Release the cabin crew. Lovely stuff. Auto brake can go off now, and we'll twizzle that heading bug all the way around here. Lovely stuff. Right. After takeoff checklist, engine bleeds are on, packs are in auto, landing gear is up and off, flaps are up, no lights. After takeoff checklist complete. Not seeing any moisture, so
685. Nothing further, Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
1228, Transavia 6685. Right, we're going to Unicom now then, chat. So we'll continue our climb up to 390. Right, off we go then. Lovely stuff. That was quite a nice departure. I do need to adjust my sensitivity though, because that pitch authority there was... It was low. I could hardly... I had my joystick almost fully back to rotate then. That was crazy. Right, and back to Unicom it is. Right. Okie dokes. Very nice indeed. Let's see if we've got any ATC online coming over. No, we're actually skirting all the way around. If I bring up the fuzz pad, looks like we're kind of skirting all the way around where all the ATC is online. But then we're going to come back inbound, and we'll speak to Langen at a later stage once we get probably to top of climb according to SimToolkitPro here. Okie dokie, flight level 100. Lovely. Right. Nicely done. Fairly happy with that as a departure, other than the pitch authority there, but other than that, it seemed pretty good. Lovely. Right. Okie doke, let's catch up with some messages then. Let's see. Still trying to find that castle. Oh, from my Instagram post. Or my Facebook post. Leave a comment when you do. Leave a comment when you do. That's awesome, dude. Lego Lancer, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. The Dutch GSX accent, is that not good? To be honest, I didn't pay that much attention to the accent. I will have to do next time, though. Jean, welcome to the chat from Quebec. Welcome indeed. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Storm Chaser Raymond, thank you very much for the subscription as well. Much appreciated. Well, welcome, welcome. Lucas says, do I use my joystick for the PMDG? Yes, I do indeed, yeah. And I do use a TCA Airbus as well with the PMDG, yeah. MPS says, I use the full setup TCA Airbus for all different aircraft types. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I imagine your setup is fairly similar to mine, Nim. Right, we can go ahead and switch this over now as well, can't we? And we're flying right inbound on that that radial there. Very good. Should have switched it over earlier, really, but hey ho. It's just for backup purposes. Also, full throttle control for the BA 146. Yeah, exactly. I do the same as well, MPS. Exactly. Which Transavia had the 900? Yeah, exactly. There's not many many airlines that fly the 900, isn't there? That's one of the main reasons why I didn't get it. I mean, I've got the 600, which is obviously not very commonly flown anymore, but the 600 is... I feel like it's a bit more unique. It feels a bit more unique than the 900s. A little bit more character to it, I think. In my opinion, I might be, you know, it's obviously a subjective thing, isn't it? Is live weather still bugged? Not as far as I'm aware. No, it seems to be working okay for me at the moment. 900 mostly probably in the US. Yeah, that's from what I've seen with Alaska, and I think, is it Delta who fly the 900? Can't remember. Dave, no worries, dude. No worries. Technical reasons, eh? Well, I hope you're doing well anyway, Dave. Welcome. I'm sure I've come to a lot of different painted liveries for the 900 at flightsim.to. Yeah, exactly, MPS. I'm sure loads of people will do all kinds of liveries, fictional or not. Can I link the Eindhoven scenery? It's on flightsim.to. Just search it for the ICAO code, which is EHEH. Just search that on flightsim.to, and you'll find it very, very easily. I would only be doing the same thing right now. How do I do it with the landing gear lever? You mean as in go up and off? Well, I could show you. So it requires spad.next. So if I bring up the fuzz pad here, which has got spad.next on it. Yeah, so basically I've got it bound to the gear up and the gear down commands, and then I've got it set conditionally to send a certain event depending on what position the gear lever in the sim is in. So basically, if the gear lever is down and I go gear up, it will put the gear all the way up. But if the gear handle is up in the sim and I put the gear handle down, it'll put it to the middle rather than all the way down. And then I can put this lever back in the up position, and then it says if the gear lever is in the off position, then when I put the gear lever down, put the gear down. And that's essentially what all this means down here. But it's there if you want to. If you have spad.next, you can by all means copy all those details there. Excuse me. It's so small though. Yeah, I mean, small planes are great. What's wrong with small planes? Yeah, I mean, the 600 is great because you can fly it into smaller airports, like, you know, airports that are generally only served by, you know, regional jets and stuff like that. It's great. PMDG release 747. I'm ready for flight with TCA 4 throttle. Oh, very good, MPS. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, I can't ever see myself getting a 4 throttle quadrant, to be honest. I don't know. I wouldn't mind the Honeycomb Bravo, to be honest. I think that's quite a good one. Obviously, then you get 4 levers. Yeah. And that would probably be okay for me. It wouldn't take up that much room on my desk, I suppose. I can mount it right on the end over here, so it's out the way. I read something. Boeing only sold 100 aircraft type 900 version, but 550 900ER version. Interesting. Interesting. I did not know that. I don't really know much about the 900, to be honest, except for that I don't really see it very often. Oh, hang on. Oh, I couldn't... my eyes just played a trick on me then. I couldn't actually see the LNAV line there. Right. We're looking good, though. How do you do reverse thrust? Yeah, so my setup at the moment for reverse thrust isn't the best, I don't think. I'm not hugely... I'm still sort of testing out what the best solution is, but I can show you that one as well. So, again, we'll come to the fuzz pad. Both levers are set up the same. So, basically what I've got is I've got the thrust levers down to the normal axis, the normal throttle with reverser axis. Although, having said that, probably don't need it to be set up like that. I don't know. I need to do a bit more tweaking on it. And then basically what I've got is in here, on this end bit here where you've got a virtual button, I've got throttle 1 decrease and throttle 1 cut there, depending on whether it's switched on or switched off. So, again, basically what that allows me to do is it allows me to put the thrust lever all the way back, and then when I go a little bit into the reverse like that, it basically puts it into reverse idle, and then if I bring it back all the way, then it'll go to full reverse. That's basically what it does. But I mean, I'm not 100% satisfied with that yet. Like I say, it doesn't work perfectly. I'm still trying to think of a better solution, to be honest. I think the throttle with reverses, it just works normally. That works fine for me. But I wanted something that could allow me to just put it into idle reverse, because obviously that's used quite a lot. And the throttle with reverses option, it's very difficult to get it into exactly into idle reverse. It's always a bit higher than idle. Aaron says, I love the smaller flights, especially as someone who's looking to get 200 hours of interrupted time at any point. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm the same. Majority of flights I do are between, 45 minutes and an hour and a half, I think. They're the majority of flights that I do. So, yeah, I can relate to that. Although, that being said, it's not just for time constraints, really. It's just because I don't really do that many long haulers. Oh, is that what it was, Lucas? Ah. I did not know that. Very good. There we go. There's some potential facts about the 900, why the standard variant didn't get as many sales. Good to know. Good to know. Aaron says, I dream of a day where I could figure out 3D printing enough to make some controls for the AH64 in DCS. Yeah, I mean, I have thought many times I would love to know how to do some 3D printing just to, yeah, to get some cool stuff going. Like, for example, for my TCA, I actually purchased some custom detents that I found online on, I think it was Shapeways, where somebody has essentially just 3D printed them. And, yeah, they're really good. They're a lot better than the default ones. Abdel Remain, welcome from Algeria. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Which program is that for setting up controllers in Microsoft Flight Sim? That, what I was just showing on the fuzzpad, that is spad.next. Munich to Innsbruck, one of my favourites. Probably overkill in an 800, but still fun. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a good one, that. It's good. I think it is flown by 737-800s, or at least A320s. I'm sure I've done that route in an A320 before. Oh, you finally done your cleaning on the 3080, Roy. How did that go? Thermal paste turned into a rock already. Crikey. How old was it? I use a button on the Thrustmaster Warthog for idle reverse and use the throttles past the detent for full reverse. Yeah, that sounds like a good option as well. Yeah. That's essentially what I'm doing, but without an extra button, using a virtual button. Do I have any uploaded profiles on SPAD? I don't, Chris, no. Mainly because mine are... I'm not fully... I wouldn't really want to share them because they're not... I'm not fully sort of satisfied with them yet, if you like. I think once I get some complete profiles done, I will share them. But I'm not fully... I've not fully tested them to really be worth sharing. I think probably I'm fairly happy with my Fenix one, to be honest. Hang on a minute. Oh, I need to contact center controller. Hang on. 24725. Langen Radar, very good afternoon. Transavia 6685, passing flight level 378 for 390 inbound PTES.
Transavia 6685, Langen, hello, identified. Langen Radar, good evening, close to 1 passing 2400.
Alright, it's lovely.
Lot 221, hello, identified as well.
Alright, 1,000 to go.
Flight level 130, lots of luck.
For some reason I don't get the little binging sound anymore when I get a contact me on VATSIM. I'm not sure why that is exactly. Right, stop with climb, FNC speed, VNAV path.
Cleared island 03, report Relia.
Direct Rinia and cleared approach from 03.
Lovely job. Right, how are we doing on the progress? So expected at Innsbruck at 8:10 in the sim, so in about 40 minutes time. Right, I'm just going to request this controller just to nip away for 2 minutes. So I'll be back with you in a sec, chat. JustFlight 6685, just request a couple of minutes away from the flight deck.
Transavia 6685, Roger, maximum 7 minutes approved, report back.
Yeah, thank you. I'll only be 2 minutes, Transavia 6685. Right, chat, will be a second. I'll be back with you.
Langen Radar, Lufthansa 107 with you.
Lufthansa 197, hello identified, climb flight level 240.
Climb flight level 240, Lufthansa 197.
Flankenradar, NoCape 802, schönen guten Abend. With you, 2500, climbing 5000.
Snowcap 802, Langen, hello identified, climb flight level 340.
Climbing flight level 340, NoCape 802.
Luxair 5808, leaving Mayor Space, Luxembourg is not there, monitor Unicom 122.8, chief.
Switching to Unicom 122.8, thank you for your service, GNS Max 5808.
Ryanair 620 Step Stylus 03 reporting linear.
Ryanair 6207, wunderbar, danke, contact Hahn Tower 119.650, Moscow.
Contact Hahn Tower 119.650, Ryanair 6207, vielen Dank Patrick, ciao.
Lufthansa 2 Lima Romeo, contact Langen, radar 125.2, tschüss.
1252, Lufthansa 2 Lima Romeo, schönen Abend, ciao.
So, Ryanair 5 Romeo Lima, contact Langen 125.2, tschüss.
15.2, thank you, bye-bye.
And Lodge 221, contact Langen, radar 125.2, tschüss. 15.2, bye-bye, Lodge 2.
And then chat, we're back. Transavia 6685 is back.
6685.
Right. Lovely stuff, chats. Right, so Chris says I'm having trouble setting up a profile a profile for the fly-by-wire. Even though I calibrate the detents and throttle does what it wants. Chris, are you using spad.next? I can show you how I've got mine set up for the fly-by-wire if you want to have a look. .3080 is 2 years now. Ah, okay. Maybe I should clean mine then. Also took about the TCA side stick, which is also behaving weird. Yep, mine did that same thing. Great stuff. Well, glad you managed to get it all sorted, dude. I hope it helps you. I have noticed my 3080 is a bit louder than what it was when I first got it, as in it's obviously building up more heat and the fan's working harder. Christo says, am I related to aviation in real life anyway? I'm not, no, really. You are, Chris, right? Okay. Well, I don't know if this will help you, but I can show you mine for the fly-by-wire. And we do need to check the ATIS as well for Innsbruck in just a moment. Right, so how can I show you this?
Lufthansa 197, climb flight level 280.
How can I show you this without activating the profile?
310 Orbx.
Let's just do it, see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't mess things up. Right, we're good. Okay, cool. So,
Flight level 280 and speed to... Say again, please. Yep, speed 310 or greater.
this is my setup. I've got it obviously the same on both levers, but it's just the axis control, throttle 1, axis set EX1. That's a very important bit. You need to use the one with EX1 on the end, and then they're my values. So I don't know if that'll help you, but feel free to obviously pause the stream, take a screenshot, do whatever you want, and maybe that will that'll help you. Right, let's grab the 80s anyway.
Snowcap 802, stop climb flight level 28.
Information Oscar 1820, so about half an hour old now. Runway in use is 26. Right, okay, there we go.
280, Snowcap 802.
Transition level not determined. Interesting. Wind calm, cav okay. Temperature -2, dew point -8, QNH 1032. Stick that in as well. We'll leave the transition level there, to be fair. Right. Let's have a look at our arrival options into Innsbruck then, because it is runway 24 instead of runway 08, which is what we thought we might get. Sorry, runway 26. And it is probably going to be the localizer DME East. So let's have a look then. So we've got the Madeb 1 Bravo, which is what we're expecting. Which takes us basically from Madeb to Elnem. Super straightforward, and that's it basically. From Elnem, we're landing this way round here. So let's just have a look at what approaches we can select now. These Arnav.
Transavia 6685, contact landing radar 125.2. Choose.
1252, Transavia 6685, choose. Just changing the radios in the background here.
Climbing flight level 140 in Bonpeska.
Austin 102 Papa, Lang service identified, climb.
Langham Radar, very good evening. Transavia 6685, flight level 390, inbound Kilo Romeo Hotel.
Transavia 6685, Langham Radar identified.
Right. Okie dokes.
26 Yankee, descent 3000 feet, turn left heading 20.
So carry on then with what we're doing. So Madeb to Elnem. Now, not exactly sure what the procedure will be from here, to be totally honest with you. Let's have a look at the Arnav Zulu. That's for 08.
6 Echo Mike, normal rate, contact München 134, decimal 150.
Yeah, so all the approaches for 26 start on the other side. Basically start at Rattenberg up here. So I imagine that we'll probably get... I guess we'll probably either get assigned a different star. Actually, let's have a look. Madeb.
Slots 221, monitor Unicom.
There's only the Madeb that comes from Madeb, basically. So there's only the Madeb 1 Bravo. Is what I meant to say. So potentially we get vectors all the way to Rattenberg. That might be an option. It says non-Arnav aircraft expect vectors to final approach.
26 Yankee, turn right heading 010, clear left runway 03, report established.
26 Yankee, heading 010, cleared ILS, runway 03. 26 Yankee.
26 Yankee, report established.
doesn't really give me much indication as to what we can expect from LMEM. Nevertheless, let's have another look here.
Lima Romeo, contact München radar 134, decimal 150, roger.
134, 150, to Lima Romeo, good night,
5 Romeo Lima, contact München radar 134, decimal 150, roger. 134, decimal 150.
Not that much information there.
Confirm 134, 150.
134, 150.
Not much information there either. So anyway, I would imagine it's going to be this approach anyway, the lock DME east. So I'm guessing what's going to happen is we'll come in at LMEM, which is somewhere up here, and we'll get vectored across to Rattenberg, or we'll just get told to go direct to Rattenberg, and then we're going to descend on the lock DME east. So that's what we'll plan for. I imagine that's probably what's going to happen, and then that's essentially a straight in for runway 26. There is also this localizer approach. Okay, so this is only for if you have done a... Oh, sorry, it's followed by the RNAV RMP 0.3 Mr. Approach. Right, okay, fine. Yeah, I imagine it's going to be the lock DME East. I imagine that's probably what it's going to be. That's usually what it is. So that's fine. So that's what we'll plan for. Yeah. Let's get that set up then. Yeah, it definitely doesn't say anything regarding the procedure in use, so nevertheless we carry on with the setup. So let's come back over here. So we've got the Mad Ebb 1 Bravo already tuned, and I imagine it's going to be, like we said, lock DME east, localizer east, runway 26. Now that's actually not on here, or is it going to be the localizer 26? Let's just verify here. So there's the localizer Romeo, which is this one. There is a localizer West as well, which is for... Oh, I suppose we could maybe do the localizer West as well. In fact, it possibly will be. Though that being said, it is a visual procedure following the localizer West approach, which could be a bit spicy considering it's nighttime in the real world, so I'm not sure they would actually have you do that. Yeah, I'm not actually sure, to be honest, chat, what we're going to get, whether we're going to get localizer West or localizer East. We'll plan for both. What I'll do is I'll put in the localizer. I'll put in lock 26 for now, which is the easterly one. We'll put that in just because I think that's possibly the most likely scenario. So we'll stick that in for now, and I'm actually just gonna... We'll just put Rattenberg. So we'll clear out this discontinuity so we've got a decent descent profile. So that's fine. In fact, no, what we'll do, sorry, is we'll put localizer West. We'll put localizer West with LMEM as a transition there, just because, again, that's going to give us the shortest track mileage, so that's the worst case scenario. So that's fine. We'll let it do its thing on that one. So yeah, let's do that, and we'll have a look at the briefing here. Radar approach and tower at Innsbruck. Yep, indeed. Should be fully staffed, which is great. How many years have we been flying in Flight Simulator? Swedish Sim Pilot says since Microsoft Flight Sim released, really. So about 2 years. Right. Anyways, let's crack on.
754, contact München, radar 134, decimal 15.
So, having a look at the arrival then. So we're going to be flying into Innsbruck, Austria. This is an RNAV Star we're going to be flying. This is a 10-2 Alpha sheet, MADEB 1 Bravo. This is an RNAV arrival for all runways. And airport elevation here, very high here in Innsbruck, 1,907 feet. Transition level is not actually on the 80s, but we're going to assume it's going to be something like flight level 110. RNAV required, etc. That's fine. Non-RNAV aircraft can expect radar vectors, but not really applicable to us. Right, so the arrival is super simple. MADEB is where we're coming in. Minimum 13,000 feet, or flight level 130. And then we're going to come into LMEM, which is minimum 13,000 as well. We've got hold here at LMEM, which we might need to use. Minimum holding altitude is 13,000. But in case we do get vectored over here, we've also got minimum 13,000 here at Rattenberg, and we've also got a hold there. Minimum holding altitude there is 9,500 feet, however.
Flight level 70, planting 130.
MSA is highest in the southeast here. Oops, 14,500 feet, so very, very high MSA there. To the south of the star.
Transavia 6685, descend flight level 310 at 2,000 feet per minute or greater.
Descend flight level 330, 2,000 feet per minute or greater, Transavia 6685.
Manifest cleared level 310.
Descend flight level 310, Transavia 6685. Right. Okay, doke. So just setting flight level 310, minus 2,000, MCP speed, VS, and we're going down. So it might, because he's already given us that descent clearance, maybe we'll be coming in from the west, but we'll have a look. We'll have a look. Right, so carrying on. Right, we'll brief the west one because I'm starting to feel like that might be the case here. But I could be wrong again. So, looking at the approach, this is the LOC DME west approach, followed by a visual approach. Localizer frequency and identifier Oscar Echo Juliet 1097, and final approach course is 065. Minimum altitude here is Kudav 11,500 feet, which is basically the final approach fix. MDA 5,000 feet, which is also the circling altitude initially. So we've got the same MSAs here from LMEM and the Rattenberg NDB. So we'll look to be fully configured before we descend on down this localizer, because this is a 4.7 degree descent angle we need to do to get down to the correct altitude. So we're going to be descending from 11,500 at Kudav down to 5,000 feet, which is going to be where we start the visual procedure, if that's what we're going to do. So we can expect to come in from LMEM, like we said, and then intercept the localizer at Kudav. So that's that. I'm not going to say too much more about that, because that's probably the simplest part of this approach. And then once we actually reach 5,000 feet down here, and you can also see as well the localizer itself is not actually located on the airport. You can see the airport itself is here, and the localizer is located up here, basically. In fact, yes, that is where it's located, yeah. And then you've got the other localizer for the opposite approach just there. So it's not located on the field, and it's going to bring us into a point outside of the airport. So from there, we do have a circling procedure. I've never done it from the west before, chat, so this could go pretty spicy if we have to do it. But this is a 19-11 chart. So we're going to be coming in from the west here. You can see coming down the localizer like this. 4.4 miles from OEJ. We're then going to start the procedure, which is also should be 5,000 feet. So from there, we take essentially a right turn. And then because we're coming in, we want to come in on runway 2. I keep forgetting the runway name. 26 is it? We're basically just going to take a right turn. Max radius 0.9 nautical miles there. Right turn and then another right turn. And another right turn on the track 290. And then a left turn in on to the runway. So it should be pretty interesting.
Transavia 6685, contact München radar 134, decimal 150.
134150, Transavia 6685.
Ryanair 249, contact München arrival 120.775. 120.775 for Ryanair 249.
München, Transavia 6685, flight level 310, overhead Batub.
Transavia 6685, München number identified, descent flight level 250.
Send flight level 250, Transavia 6685. Right, 250 it is. We'll go back to VNAV now. So FMC speed and VNAV path.
30 Echo Milano is closing further, you climb on Unicom 122.8 Boeing.
Set auto brake to 3 for this arrival. Right, okay, so carrying on with the briefing then. So that's going to be the procedure if we have to do the Lock DME West approach. We do have the Orbx scenery as well, so we should be able to see some of these obstacles. I think this one might even be the ski ramp, potentially.
08 kilo, passing flight level 300, climbing level 350, inbound Nombo.
Lufthansa 08 kilo, München, servos identified.
So that's that one. If we have to come from the west, however, sorry, from the east, it is more or less the same procedure, but just slightly different altitudes and descent angles. So if we have to come from the east, this is the 11-1. It's OEV and 111.1. Final approach course 254, and the minimum altitude 9,519 miles. And then we're going to descend down on the localizer at 3.77 degrees. For both of these approaches, by the way. For both these approaches, by the way, we'll have to use vertical speed. This is a localizer only approach. So no glide slope. So from this one, it takes us in from Rattenberg at 9,500 feet, level flight to the localizer, which is descend flight level 150, 2,000 feet per minute or greater, Transavia 6685. Right, 150. Now I'll increase that vertical speed. Right, so carrying on with this then, yeah, like I said, we'll be using vertical speed down the localizers on both of these approaches. I forgot to mention it on the other one. This one takes us more or less to the field. However, it is offset by 3 degrees, so we can expect to have to make a correction on final. And then the MDA for this one is a little bit lower, 4,900 feet. Not much lower though. And then for that one, there's no visual really. If we're coming in from the west, it's more or less straight into the runway. If we need to go around, it's a left turn inbound to the RUM NDB. For this one, forgot to brief it, but it's a right turn basically, and then max gradient climb, and then proceed up the back course of the localizer.
Okay, confirm we're descending at 2,000 feet per minute.
Yeah, the Fenix is not even correcting.
Right, and obviously we need to decide to go around before we reach the circling altitude. So that's that. Right. Cool. And then
6685 on a request of Innsbruck arrival, turn left heading 090.
left heading 090. Say again the first part. Transavia 6685.
It was just information that it is on a request of Innsbruck arrival.
No request as such. We have planned for the Madeb 1 Bravo Star, but happy to come in from the east through Rattenberg if that works better.
No, I guess you will solve the mystery soon as I will hand you over to 128.975. Take care.
Cool, thank you. 11975, Transavia 6685.
Just to confirm, it's 128.975.
128.975, Transavia 6685. I think I've got that wrong, haven't I? Is it 129.875, chat? I've totally messed this up. One two eight nine and 75. I had it right first time.
Approach Beeline 6353. Apologize.
No worries, sir.
Innsbruck approach. Very good evening. Transavia 6685. Passing flight level 216 for flight level 150. Heading 090.
Transavia 6685 and Volanta, good evening. Information Papa. Expect localizer DME East approach. Resume normal rate.
Information Papa is on board. Localizer DME East approach. We're expecting and continuing normal rate of descent. Transavia 6685. Okay, cool. No issue. So it's lock DME East, chat. So we'll get set up for that now then. Cool. We'll go back to VNav. FNC speed, VNav path. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to select lock 26, which is what I thought was going to be the case. And we'll go Rattenberg. I'm actually going to untick the star. In fact, I can't do that, can I? So we'll just go localizer 26, transition Rattenberg. And we'll stick it in there like that. Cool. So as well, I knew it would be that, to be fair. Right, so let's get set up for that then. So it should be a lot simpler then in terms of the setup. So it's essentially going to be the localizer on 1111. 1111. It does say ILS, but it is just a localizer. Hello? Right, final approach course is 254.
Innsbruck Radio Austrian 503 passing 8,300 feet for flight level 1.
Beautiful. Look at that, chat.
Climb level 160.
Climb flight level 160 Austrian 503.
Lovely stuff. Right, so I think what we'll do is we'll take Rattenberg and we'll just stick it on the top here. We are flying in heading select, so that's fine, and we'll just execute that, and that's going to give us a more accurate vertical profile situation here. Vertical profile is coming down on us, which is good. Only flying at 1,000 feet per minute. What we could also do as well is just bring the speed back a little bit as well.
Transavia 6685, proceed direct Rattenberg, Romeo Tango Tango.
Direct Rattenberg, Transavia 6685. There we go, chat. So we'll just go LNAV, seeing as though we're flying on that track anyway. LNAV. And Rattenberg is an NDB, so 303, we'll get that tuned on here. There is a RUM NDB as well, but we've only got one NDB radio, but we'll tune it anyway, 320. That's about all we really need to tune for this one. So we are a bit low here. The unit controllers obviously got us.
65 contact info tower 120.1, ciao.
120.1, bye-bye, Beeline 6353.
The unit controllers got us a little bit ahead of ourselves, which is fine. There's no issues. Right, cool. Okay, so. Right, I think we're pretty much set then for the arrival. Let's go and set the approach reference. We'll go for flaps 40 for this approach. And the wind is calm at Innsbruck.
200 for flexible one.
Oh, what I need to do just really quickly here is I need to change this because the pitch was not great.
503, contact Wien Radar 126.275, ciao.
126.275, Austrian 50.
Yeah, when we departed, the pitch axis was very, very unsensitive. Right. Okie dokie. So we're all set. Let's just quickly check the ATIS one more time. Wind calm, temperature -3, dew point. Okay, cool. Lovely. No clouds reported either. Look at this, though. Innsbruck's just down in that valley, I think. Just down here. Somewhere behind these mountains. Lovely. Right then. Love this approach, guys. Love this approach. Sam, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. What's the tablet app called? I've never seen it before. It's SimToolkitPro. Sam. Adam says, hi. Hi, Adam. Hope you're doing well. MXI Design have a sale where they donate all money to Turkey. To be honest, I've not tried any MXI Designs airports personally, so I can't really make any recommendations on that, but I will have to have a look myself and just see. Runway 26 is in use on Flight Radar 24. Very good. Very good to know. Very good to know. Yeah, I mean, they usually base the runway in use on VATSIM on the real world as well. What graphics settings for the sim? Adam, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. First of all, if you type !graphics in the chat, it's got all my settings there. That is strange, Chris. That is strange. I would try it in the fly pad if you reset your axes as... reset the calibration to default. And then try again, maybe. That might be help to you, potentially. Love this approach, chat. Love it. Beautiful conditions as well. Hit the thumbs up in the chat, guys, if you are enjoying the scenery right now. So, descent checklist we haven't done yet. So, pressurization, landing altitude is set 1950, checked. Recall is checked. Landing data. Flaps 40, VREF 131, minimums. Oh, we have not set the minimums.
Climb level 160.
Minimums are going to be 4,900. Crikey, that's going to be hard to set. Oh, it's going to take ages. Minimums are set, let's just say 4,900 feet. And the approach briefing is completed. Descent checklist is complete.
126.275 Austin 75 Commercial number.
Tschüss.
4,900 feet, crikey. God damn, this is going to take forever. I can use radio altimeter, yeah. Yeah, it's still 3,006 feet though. Might as well just go all the way if we're going to go that far. So we are probably going to have a little bit of a tailwind on the descent, so we'll have to try and keep ahead of ourselves. Obviously watch out for the speeds. We'll probably aim to be more or less fully configured before we end up going down the localizer. We'll also make sure that we keep an eye on close eye on the descent profile with that tailwind.
Input radar, very good evening. Start with 419, climbing through 5,700 feet for flight level 160 on the Mugz T3 hotel departure.
There we go, 4,900. Descent checklist complete. Alright, lovely. So, chat, I forgot to mention as well on the charts, we've got these altitudes here, which we'll be cross-checking as we go down.
Good evening, sir. Identified. Climb level 160.
As we go down each mile, to make sure we're on the right profile. To be honest, I think that the localizer east in Microsoft Flight Simulator, it does actually have a glide slope. It shouldn't do, and we're not going to use it, but I think it does actually have a glide slope. But nevertheless. Oh no, wait, it does say, look, glide slope indication available between 19 miles OEV and MDA. Okay, so maybe it should do then, but we're not going to use the glide slope necessarily. We'll just use it as a cross-check.
Try to contact him again, please.
So that's fine. So we'll be using these altitudes mainly, along with the glide slope. There's a pappy to the left of the runway, which I didn't mention earlier on. And then the descent angle, obviously steeper than normal, 3.77 degrees. It is a non-precision approach, so again, we're going to be making sure that we are nicely
thank you for that.
Nicely configured before we descend here at Adwig.
Controller 6685, descent 9,500, QNH 1032.
Send 9,500, QNH 1032, Transavia 6685. Right. There we go, chat. It doesn't look like we're probably going to be doing any holding here because the he's given us descent down to VNF path. We've been given descent down to 9,500, which is the altitude to start the approach. So that's unlikely we're going to have to do any holding, which is good. You can see there is someone already down there. It looks like they're actually going around potentially. I'm going to close this VOR2 off because we don't need it. And then there was something else I wanted to mention. I'm not sure what it was.
After 0 after information Papa, passing expert and flight level 250 and descent.
At 6017, dobry wieczór, trade identified information Papa is correct.
What we'll do is as well, we'll come into here. Runway 26. And we'll come to fix, we'll drop that in. Drop that in there. And we'll go 077 and 20 miles.
722, contact, Wien Radar 126, decimal 275, ciao.
275, ciao.
It's just going to give us an extended center line there.
Conservative 6685, descent over down 9,500 via Rattenberg, cleared localizer DME, approach.
Descend 9,500 feet via Rattenberg, cleared localizer DME, east approach, Transavia 6685. Right guys, approach checklist, altimeters are set.
Contact München Radar 134, decimal 150,
Oops, no they're not. Tell a lie, 1032. Retard VNAV speed. Altimeters are set, cross-checked. Okay. So we're a bit high now. So let's get down because we do want to get nicely configured here. So let's just increase the speed a bit. Right. Look at this, chat. And then we're going to take a right turn momentarily. You should be able to see the airport maybe down there. Not quite just yet. Or is it the next valley? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure this is the valley right here. Right. Back on profile here. Let's come back on speed. Now we might need a bit of speed brake there. Localizer is identified now, so we'll arm Vorlock. We are cleared for the approach. Let's get a replay. It's going to just stall the sim for a second here. Pounder Jams, see you later. Right, there we go. Okay, 1,000 to go. We're going to get a bit of speed brake out here, chats. Now we'll come to the up speed. And we go for flaps 1. And flaps 2. Vorlock. Flaps 5. And we need to start descending at 19 miles. So we've got 2 miles. I'll keep coming down on speed. Flaps 10. Enough path. And flaps 15. Gear down. Not sure why the engines are spooling up here.
6685, contact from Tower 120.1, ciao.
1201, Transavia 6685.
97, Austrian 8 to Tango, ja, kein Problem. Ciao, servus.
Alright, flaps 15. I thought I'd already done 15, but hey ho. Flaps 25. Innsbruck Tower, very good afternoons. Transavia 6685, we're on the localizer DME East.
Transavia 6685, Innsbruck Tower, servus. Continue runway 26.
Continue runway 26, Transavia 6685. Alright, so ref speed is set. Lap set to 30. We're right on profile here, chat. 15 miles, should be at 7,900 feet.
74 Quebec Foxtrot, wind calm, runway 26, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 26.
Get the speed brake in now, I forgot I had that out. Flap set to full now. .136 is our ref speed, that's good. Okay. 14 miles, we should be at 7,500 feet, so we're a bit high now. Right, landing checklist, engine start switches, continuous. Speed brake is armed. Landing gear is down, flaps are 40, green light, landing checklist complete. Lovely. Right, so let's focus. 13 miles, we should be at 7,100 feet. We're definitely a bit high here, so let's increase that rate of descent. $12 miles, we should be at 6,700 feet. This is what I'm looking at here. This is 12 miles. So we're still going to be a bit high there. $11 miles, we need to be at 6,300 feet. Which I think we're going to be just about on. Maybe a little bit high. Yeah, it's still high. Let's keep that rate of descent up. 10 miles, we should be at 5,900 feet. Runway is in sight, so visual. We could continue visually now, I suppose, but nevertheless, let's continue as we are. 10 miles coming up. Should be at 5,900. Which we are, so we'll come to 1,000 feet per minute. $950 actually might be more appropriate. We're going ground speed 145 knots. We're trying to maintain 3.77 degrees. Right, so at 9 miles we should be at 5,500 feet. We're too low now. $8 miles we should be at 5,100 feet. We're not cleared to land yet. Also, the PAPI is not coincident with the 3.77 degrees. PAPI is calibrated to 3.5 degrees, so we should probably show a bit high. Oh no, we don't want to level off here, chats.
Transavia 6685, wind calm, runway 26, clear to land.
26 clear to land, Transavia 6685.
Minimums.
I forgot I had altitude selected there. Right, we'll set the go around altitude to 5,900 feet. And we've reached the minimums and we're going to continue. We are visual. Alright, let's do this thing, chats. We'll get the flight directors off. We'll recycle them in case we need to go around. And I'm just going to use the glide slope for a cross-reference to my profile. We'll get auto thrust disconnect as well.
Two in sequence behind the arriving Transavia Boeing 737. Line up runway 26 and wait behind.
Line up runway 26 behind the 737 landing, of course.
Stick that on for you guys. Runway's got snow on it. I thought they fixed this. Maybe it's this scenery that needs updating. Right, we've got 4 whites, but as we said, it would show us high on the pappies. – 1,000 feet is checked. We are stabilized. Got 1 red now.
$500. $400. $300. $200.
Oh.
100. 50. 30.
Oh, I flared too early.
10.
Speed brakes, reverse green, and manual brakes here. Didn't go into full reverse there, which is what I wanted. Alright, reverse is stowed. Not too bad, chat. Not too shabby. I was a little bit off centre line.
Localize the runway 26.
Golf Delta Oscar, Wincom, runway 26, clear to takeoff.
Runway 26, clear to takeoff, go for Oscar.
Transavia 6685, warm welcome to Innsbruck, taxi via Alpha to the apron, stand of choice, bye-bye.
Thank you. Taxi via Alpha to get standard choice. Transavia 6685, thank you.
Architect 017, Innsbruck Tower Service, continue approach, runway 26.
Right, lovely job. We'll get the transponder off as well.
And the transport runway 08.
Flaps are coming up. We'll get the auto brake off as well, and the spoilers are retracted.
Okay, understood. No problem. Architect 017.
Alright, lovely stuff. We are depressurized. Everything looks good there. Fantastic. APU is starting up. Fantastic. Landing rate predictions in the chat, guys. Yeah, I had a bit of a funny wobble on the short final there that kind of threw me a little bit, but I think we managed to just about get it good. I was a little bit to the left of centre line, but yeah, not too bad. I still think we got touchdown zone, and the smoothness of the landing will be determined. Right, welcome guys. This is Orbx Innsbruck, which is a very nice scene, I will say. Again, one of those first few sceneries that came out for Microsoft Flight Sim, so it does need a bit of an update, a refresh, I think. The modelling and texturing is great, but I just think it's got too many statics. Snow is all over the place, and I think the apron is not really very recent. But nevertheless, let's come in here next to this 2E757, which is a static, by the way. Right, I'm not sure what stand that is going to be, though. So let's try this one, stand 6. That's stand 6 over there. Oh, we'll go stand 6, actually, yeah. Because no one's there, are they? So we'll go there. Okie dokie, APU is fired up. Get the taxi lights off. Transponder is off, isn't it? We didn't obviously have a weather radar, etc. So no issues there. Where's our marshaller? Should be somewhere around here. There he is.
Aztec 017, wind calm, runway 26, you're clear to land.
Wind copy to clear to land, runway 26, Aztec 017.
Look at the shadow there
017 traffic
with the writing.
As already mentioned, steer for traffic on your 12 o'clock position, joining the left downwind runway 26.
Traffic inside, Aztec 017, thank you.
Innsbruck Tower, Tosca 84 on final to runway 26.
Tosca 84, Innsbruck Tower Servos, continue approach runway 26. Reduce to speed 160 knots or less.
Reduce to 160 or less, Tosca 84.
Okay, parking brake is set. APU gen is online. Let's get it on the bus. Shut down both the engines now and get the anti-collision lights off. Now we'll get the APU blade on. Open the isolation valve. Oh, they're not on. Right. Lovely stuff, chat. Okie dokie, let's get the ground service to put the chocks in and connect a ground power unit. Get the stairs in place. Oh, what's going on here?
There's also roger traffic information on your 11 o'clock position into land, Airbus direction Boeing 737.
Traffic is right, of course, we need to Oscar.
Do this.
Thank you very much. And Golf Delta Oscar extend.
It's so loud out here.
Runway 26, I will call you back for time.
Right. Okie dokie. Let's open the doors. External power is connected now, so we'll get that on the bus.
Golf Delta Oscar, further traffic information on your 12.
Packs off and APU off now. I'm just going to turn VATSIM down. And I think I'm just going to log off VATSIM actually, because we're going to watch a replay momentarily. So we'll do that just to prevent all that extra noise outside. Right, lovely stuff. Welcome to Innsbruck, guys. It's the board. Yeah, lovely. Lovely. Beautiful weather here. Yeah, so any other landing rate predictions, guys? Any other landing rate predictions? Am I doing the flight back? I'm not, Leonardo, today. No, afraid not. Yeah, Dave, it's cracking, isn't it? Really, really good. Right, let's have a look at the landing report then, shall we? So, landing rate was 189 feet per minute. So not too shabby, 1.02 G at 127 knots. So pretty good really on speed, vertical speed, G-force. Pretty good. Centerline deviation was 15 feet to the right. So, yeah, we were right, weren't we? Not left. So that's that. And then we just made the touchdown zone there. Maybe a little bit late on, considering it's quite a short runway here at Innsbruck. But we just about made that touchdown zone nevertheless. Although it was quite difficult to see the markings because of the snow on the runway. But hey ho, not too bad, I don't think. Not too bad. Could have probably done better there, but not too bad at all, I do not think. So let's see who got closest. 189. I think it's got to be That'll be the commentator. Very good. Congratulations, the commentator. Very good. Very, very nice. All right. All right then, guys. So, let's get a bit of music in. Right. Welcome back, Dave. Welcome back. Do you prefer to fly in Europe and the Nordics instead of Asia, US, etc.? To be honest, yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah, but mainly because the majority of my scenery is sort of focused around Europe. Yeah, I mean, it's mainly because the reason for that is the majority of flying I do is on VATSIM. And obviously, with me being based in the UK, but even being based in Europe, I am most likely going to be flying, you know, at times when VATSIM is going to be busy in Europe mainly. So essentially what I did was my sort of methodology to getting sort of scenery. When I first started getting scenery for the sim, I sort of said to myself, well, how am I going to make this sort of the most worthwhile for me in terms of, you know, getting the most value out of the scenery purchases that I made. And I said to myself, how am I going to get the most value out of it? I get the most value out of it by buying airports that are, number one, staffed regularly on VATSIM, and number two, they are mainly in Europe, because that's where I am most likely, my times that I am online is gonna marry up with those controllers. So that's sort of my methodology, reasoning, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I do enjoy flying in the US. And to be honest, I've not flown in Asia for quite a while. We flew on New Year's. We flew in China. Yeah. In the past, I've done quite a bit of flying in Japan. But yeah, I'm quite interested to return to China soon. And to be honest, I have said for a while now that we should do the Kai-Tak approach. Still not done it yet. Maybe we'll plan that in sometime soon. But we do have a pretty interesting approach planned in for Sunday. We're going to be flying in the BAE 146 Professional into Paro from Kathmandu. So that should be pretty interesting. Very, very challenging approach. Sim looks great, doesn't it, Mohammed? It looks absolutely fantastic. How do you get the landing report? That is on SimToolkitPro. Hubert. Adam G says, any tips for a VATSIM beginner? I've flown a few times, still getting the hang of it. Yeah, so just practice as much as you can. Do as much studying as you can in advance as well. That will help you with the phraseology, and it will help you with the the general just process of learning what order things come in and when to expect them. Use observer mode as well. Try and follow a flight through its whole process and see, you know, how that all works out for them on observer mode, and listen to all their comms. That'll help as well. But most of all, I think the thing that is the most important is to have a notepad. Have a notepad and write down everything you think is going to occur and what you need to know. So, for example, when I first start a flight, every single flight, I write down my call sign at the top. Every time. Write down my stand number that I'm starting at. I write down my aircraft type, even though it's super obvious. I write it down anyway. I write down my cruising flight level, transition altitude, what SID I can expect to fly, what expected altitude, what altitude I can expect to be cleared to on that SID initially. You can get all this information from the charts. What runway I expect it to be. And then from there on, it's everything else can fall into place. But obviously write things down as you go along. Be ready with your pen always to write stuff down. I forget stuff frequently and quite often get the frequencies wrong as well. So again, it's just making sure you try and prepare yourself for that. if you use something like VATSpy or Volanta or the live map on SimToolkitPro or simaware.ca, all these websites, you can also look at what controllers are online, and you can also look at your flight plan and see what controllers you're going to get passed to next. You can write down those frequencies as well. That'll help you as well. So all that kind of stuff is super useful for VATSIM. But yeah, I mean it's just about, you know, trying to stay ahead of the curve really, and not being caught by surprise, because if you get ahead of the curve, then you can sort of almost expect everything that's going to happen. So for example, on this flight today, we expected both the locked DME West and the locked DME East approach. I was in two minds as to which one it was going to be, but I had a little bit of a weighting towards one, and then it turned out to be that one, and that really helped us, because we kind of knew what we were going to expect. We knew what altitudes to expect, and what the control, and we understood what the controller was doing, and what it was going to clear us for. Do I have any news on model and liveries updates for FSLTL? I do not, I'm afraid. No, I mean, obviously the team are constantly working on them. But I don't have any news on when anything else is going to come, unfortunately. Adam G says, don't find it too bad, but I've only flown from UK to UK airports rather than across Europe and the UK. Seeing all the sectors that are staffed scares the hell out of me. Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, that's a very good place to start. Start with somewhere that you're familiar with, somewhere that you might feel more at home. Like, it's funny, actually, flying on VATSIM, you know, when I fly, like, in Europe and I fly towards the UK and I get into UK airspace, I actually feel more comfortable in the UK airspace, just because that's my locality, and that's where I first started learning VATSIM as well, and where I got used to... you know, the phraseology. There is some different phraseology in the UK as well than the rest of the UK. And to be honest, the UK is quite busy on VATSIM, so it's probably not the greatest place to always learn. But nevertheless, you do tend to get this more sort of comfortable feeling when you're flying somewhere that is your locality. So yeah, that's not a bad thing. Yeah, great tip, Dave. Great tip. Park at a stand near the runway so you don't... Yeah, so it cuts down on that taxi clearance. Yeah, it's not a bad idea, to be fair. Right, okie dokes then. So all of the deboarding is completed. Let's jump back in here and we'll get ready to watch the replay, shall we? Okie dokie. Right, we'll load the replay on my other screen here. This vertical profile here, so cool. Oh, we never did the shutdown checklist, did we? But we completed it, so shutdown checklist complete. Right, which panel state do we want then? That'll be the one. Lovely. Right, cool. Ignore all the noises. Right, here we go. Shall I watch the full approach from outside? I think we should. This is a great approach to watch from the outside, I think. Let's watch this from the outside, I think. Let's do it. I'll get the Xbox controller out for this one, I think. So this is while we were doing the right turn inbound. In fact, we can check, can't we? Yeah, this is as we are just getting onto the localizer here. And we'll start getting our flaps out. There we go. Flaps going to 5, I think, or 10 there. I did put the gear down a bit late as well, to be fair, but hey-ho. I did make a few mistakes coming in here. I forgot that I selected the... well, I forgot to select a lower altitude once we got to the MDA. And I also was a bit late at starting the vertical speed descent down, but we still managed to recover it. Look at that, though. So cool. How many flights do I fly during a week? To be honest, I mainly do most of my flying on stream. Got the speed brakes out there still. I mainly do most of my flying on the stream, to be honest. So however many flights that amounts to. Is the gear going to come down? I'm sure I put the gear down earlier than this. Oh, the gear handle is down. For whatever reason, it's just not coming down. Might just be this replay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there with the gear. It should replay the gear, this replay tool, but it doesn't seem like it is. It's playing the sound, but it's just not dropping the gear. That's a bit strange. Hang on, let's just do this. There we go. But yeah, without live streaming Swedish Sim Pilot, very few, to be quite honest. Usually I'll just do the odd test sector for flights that I want to give a test for before the stream goes live, but other than that, it's really mostly what you see on stream. Look at this approach. This is just incredible, isn't it? With the newly released 739, no strange stored panel states. What do you mean by that, Roy? Is that, did they fix something regards the panel states? Matt Rasso, no worries at all, dude. No worries. Did replay with Skydolly and actually all the panel states and the flaps and stuff work quite well. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, to be fair, the 737 does actually work quite well with Skydolly. It's just the Fenix that's a bit dodgy, isn't it, really? Did I play Flight Simulator X back in the days? No, I just started simming when Flight Sim 2020 came out. That's basically it. When it was released. Since then, though, I have done quite a few hours on X-Plane 11 as well as Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, I see what you mean now, Roy, with the newly... Oh, you did the replay with the new 739. Oh, very good. Right, I get you. Yeah, the stored panel states, I think that's a flight control replay thing, not a not necessarily a... I don't think Skydolly does that. Right, here we go. This is where I disconnected the autopilot. Oh. That's a nice camera view though, isn't it? It's a classic plane spotter angle that you see on a lot of pictures, isn't it? Well, it would be a little bit lower down than that, obviously, but... Such a cool approach, this. Absolutely love it. -231. We already did that. We already did the predictions, MPS Gaming. I can't remember what it was now. It was about 190. So you're quite close, actually. You're quite close. The commentator took it today, though. I think he guessed, what, 220, something like that. Not bad. Not too shabby. Let's just watch that last little bit again, though, without getting all the obstacles in the way. So you can see here, when just after coming over the threshold, I did flare a bit too early there. So I started flaring sort of there, which is just a bit early. That's why we landed a bit late. But still within the touchdown zone there. And all looking good. Let's have a look from under here, shall we? Yeah, so definitely right of centre line there, but the nose wheel was pointing towards the centre line. Not too bad. I just wish Microsoft Flight Simulator wasn't so squirmy with the rudder. And then I had to go full manual brakes there to get stopped before that taxiway. Beautiful. Right then, let's we go back a bit. Not all the way back, just to about there, I think. Okie dokie then, chat. Let's go for passenger view for playing out the rest of this stream. Which side? Can't decide. Let's go this side initially. Right. Hokey cokey. Like a firm landing as I have difficult to do butter. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it can be difficult to get butter, but also actually get a safe landing, to be honest with you. So yeah, it is what it is. Hey ho. That was a good landing though, I think. Just about. Roy says, I followed the key settings on your Discord. I wonder how you switched to these views so fast. So the key, Roy, to it is really just knowing think I've got a clip actually that explains it. Let's see if we can find the clip for you. No, I don't. Okay. Yeah, it's basically the key to it, Roy, is to... You've got to kind of know how all the cameras are connected. So Flow is really good to actually demonstrate this. So let's just show you here. So with the cameras in Microsoft Flight Simulator, you've got your cockpit camera, which encompasses your, you know, your normal pilot views, for example, like these. You've got your instrument views, which I use obviously to show the various instruments and look around easily. And then you've got, you know, your quick views, which I use, you know, for taxiing and stuff like that. So you've got your cockpit camera there. Now, the cockpit camera is linked to the external camera, this one where you can just go around in a circle and zoom in and out. Now it's linked to that with the key binding that I have in my controls set to switch external internal camera, I think it's called. So if I press that key bind, I have that bound onto my side button on my mouse. It'll switch between this and this, right? But I also have a keybind for toggle drone, which is going to switch you to your showcase camera, which is obviously this one. Now, in the drone camera, you've also got the showcase cameras, which is kind of like in a similar... They've got a similar sort of link, like the cockpit and the external camera. So you've got the drone camera, and then you've got your showcase camera, which is like these views. So you can switch between the showcase camera and the showcase, sorry, you can switch between the showcase views, or the fixed views they're actually called in the menus, and the drone camera by pressing the same keybind. So switch external, internal camera, so it's like that. So if I press that keybind, it's like that. And then I can get back to the cockpit / external views by pressing the toggle drone again. So toggle drone, external, internal, external, internal. Toggle drone, external, internal, external, internal. So that's it basically. Hopefully that explains it to you. It's a little bit weird to fully get your head around, but yeah, that's it essentially. And then the other views that I have for like the wing views and that, they're just custom camera views set up. So hopefully that helps. I know it's a bit of a difficult one to explain on stream without showing you actually what I'm doing with my keys and stuff. Hopefully that explains it. But yeah, I think for me, the way I managed to sort of figure out how to switch between them quickly is when I learned that those two links basically. But I've got it on my Xbox controller as well. So on my I don't think I put my Xbox controller keybinds on there, but I've basically got this button, the back button to the toggle drone, and then the right hand side, the start button to the toggle external, internal. And then I've also got the left and right on the D-pad to change these views, the fixed views. And that helps a lot as well. Right. Okay then, chat. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Leave a like on your way out if you've enjoyed the stream today, if you enjoyed the approach, etc. Really appreciate you being here as ever. Thank you very much once again for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. I'll catch you again on Saturday now, where we're going to be flying. I'm not sure where yet, but somewhere in Europe, I imagine. There's going to be a lot of traffic for cross the land. So we might fly into one of the cross the land airports just because it's going to be crazy busy. And that'll be a lot of fun. So guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. I'll catch you again on Saturday. Bye-bye for now.